You left suddenly, Mr. Melody, rest your voice, catch your Z's. Thank you for much more than 7 days of glory. Eddie gone home to meet his music maker. Melo gone, Eddie Melo gone.
I'm not even sure. I can't hear myself. I'm not even sure why I am playing Eddie Melo gone. Because Eddie Melo gone, yes, but you know how we go. We're Antiguans, and so a man gone, and we find every opportunity to celebrate him, to remember some drama. I don't know if I'm putting it the right way, but we remember our people. And so this afternoon is we're celebrating. I have old friends. I should call the old friend. I have a young-ish friend. Okay. I have a long-time friend. So I'm going to have a better description for say I have a long-time friend.
Anything work?
You get anything work? All right. Yeah. So I have a long-time friend. I have Calypso body friend. Yes? Carl, that is a good way to describe you?
Brethren.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So we have brethren, and we have Tito Melo Thomas, one of his sons so far. What? Oh, Lord. Okay, never mind. When he come, yes. In studios. So, we are going to open bat today, and we're going to talk about Eddie Melo. So, Ango, somebody tell me that the only difference right now that we can acknowledge between you and Eddie Melo is that y'all have different mothers and fathers. Something goes up?
Correct.
What that mean?
Go to the class.
What that mean? So
that mean that my mother is like Eddie Melo mother, and Eddie Melo mother is like my mother.
So the two of y'all raise up like little.
One fence part of both of us.
Thank God for the fence. Mm-hmm. So tell us about what you remember. First of all, who is Swango?
Swango man from the ghetto.
Which ghetto? Or two ghetto that have in Antigua?
Oh, the best ghetto, Grace Farm.
You know what? Truman, I argued you today. I will just say that Swango, you know,
Swango from the ghetto.
Yeah, from one of the ghettos. So, you in the best ghetto. I'm going to talk about the best ghetto. Only because I need you today. I'm going to just try outside. You in the best ghetto. I'm going to talk about you come from the best ghetto. Here, I argue about that today. So, you are from Grace Green, Grace Farm. Which one was I supposed to say?
Grace Farm, Grace Green, the same thing. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay, good. And Eddie, so that means, therefore, by default, Eddie Melo from Grace Green.
Eddie from Grace Green.
Grace Farm. Which part? So if the fence separated the two of y'all, where y'all grew up?
Oh, we grew up in Parliament Street, Road Court, just like the Prime Minister, they from too.
Anybody else of note you want to mention from that area?
Yes, the Clancy Mac, Ryan Mac. All the man come on one road.
So on that road, they sound like I can't even rename the road the best thing in Antigua Road.
No, the road near Road Court.
It's not Parliament Street?
It was Parliament Street, but the road changed because we just play anything inside the road. Basketball, football, cricket inside there.
So, they changed the name of the road?
Yeah.
So if me come to Grace Farm now and make a look for the road, what am I going to tell people?
Ask the road court, you'll find out.
Me too let me know Parliament Street. This summer not last today. So, tell me, growing up with Eddie. Let me not put it like growing up with Eddie. Okay, yes, somebody else can say them grew up at Parliament Street. Listen, it's not about Parliament Street. Only relax. Okay. Tell us about growing up in them young days.
Oh, the young days been fun. Mm-hmm. You can fight today and tomorrow you're the person different.
So you're Eddie Melo, that's right?
Well, not me and he. He and everybody.
What? What do you mean he and everybody?
Yeah, because I don't believe how bad. But Eddie Melo always be the one from since our little grow up. He just love Mike. Like Sparrow and them tuners up. Mm-hmm. Our little girl, he does that he. Just like a Clancy, he does always be an umpire. You know, like these things.
Oh, so everybody found their career in early life.
Well, me the fight from quick. I mean, who have been police when we legal? But after me start to get teenagers, But Eddie Melo was a peaceful brother. Mm-hmm. You know, he does be the one that say, look, now look how I do this. Now look how I do that. I'll go class together at a confirmation class there and they can. So I know each other. Long, me tell you. Because Eddie Melo born in May, 60. Mm-hmm. And we born in the July 60. So, and there are reasons till Eddie Melo be maybe about 12. But between 12 and 14. And he left and go to the top of Christian Street to live with the father and the mother-in-law. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, usually when I have anything going out, just call him. He does have to open up always, son.
Where me open up with a tune?
Yo, if not
If
one
with the
tune,
anthem.
If not the anthem or one tune, he would knock 2 cardboard box. He always had his musician in it.
Cardboard box.
Cardboard box, take 2 cardboard boxes. You know,
Oh,
like that.
okay.
You know, he always-
Eddie Melo, you know Eddie Melo could play anything? Music or it?
he
So
really-
can we assume that the only thing Eddie Melo could play was cardboard box?
no, but
You mean play anything outside cardboard box, Mr. Axe?
Well, he know Eddie Melo big.
Okay. That's more of know if when he know Eddie Melo big, if Eddie Melo play anything besides cardboard box, I get them about the
Well,
cardboard
but
box.
then come real Calypso, and he would know about that.
Okay.
When Carl come, he would able to tell you about that. Okay. But we were like, look, closer than brothers, because some brothers, you know, some brothers mash up other brother. But Eddie Melo is like blood inside the great, blood inside the Fumi body, inside the people from Road Coat body, or something like that. Our man that I was a look upon there. Because early in his life, you know, teenager come up, I see something different in this man. And one man, if he say he can do this, he can do it. And you see what happened? Eddie made on me, and the rest man like Clancy and Raya and Sobers and Gapti and we brother named Banks. Who parents in the play? Anybody bang anybody?
What?
Anybody parents bang anybody?
Y'all were in the era of the 60s, right?
Yes.
And the 70s.
Best era, man.
I'm just asking when.
Yeah, best
Just for
era.
clarity.
And at one time, the parents of them tell you around now, I can't go carnival. This of me, when me go recreation ground,
This is you and Eddie Melo?
me Eddie made about 7 more people.
All your parents tell all your kind
No
of carnival.
carnival for out today. So you know what we do, the Tuesday?
What?
All of us hustle one frock from our mommy. And I'll put on the frock.
What?
And I'll put on the frock. And I'll go up the town like if on true power be.
So I didn't punch to get the idea from.
You know,
Carl.
well, we some up in the 70s, the politicians.
Get the tune, we get the tune.
So when I will go up the road,
Hello, you have one calypso next to you, and you have a right to here, and you have a right to there. Watch the content that you get today.
and who you talk to, the smartest of them.
No, me talk about when you talk about the frock story. So hold on, no, you can't drop out the frock story. So you put on parents' dresses,
Yeah.
mothers' frocks.
Yeah, because that's how the mother left. Because the clothes on them hide gown now.
Oh,
So I
okay.
put them on. And when the time Eddie mother put her we rock, it too big. Because Eddie mother was a fat lady. She was the fattest parent. But I'll get you.
What have to do? Why have to bunny up in the frock?
No, I'll get you Tyrone rope. 'Cause if his father was a man that deal with ropes, like rope for go sea,
Uh-huh.
and Eddie Melo, I'll fix you up, and I'll go up the road, 4 man and knock some paddy behind, and the rest man in front with the prop. And when I reach a recreation ground, hear the people in the recreation, let them pass on troop for Dominica. No, me can remember that. And when the incident happened with Eddie Melo too, I will play cricket one time. And I'll decide to put it last. But because in a love field. You very lazy, man. Yeah, he lazy. So me and the captain at the side. So what happened? When 9 man out, me declare. And he hold that. Hold that.
Hold on, hold on. And a 10 man supposed to play?
11 man. play.
11 man, right? 10 man supposed to write out, right?
Yeah, but when 9 man out, me the captain, me declare.
Why?
Because he mustn't get in the batting.
Why? Why?
Because he lazy.
You know?
Lazy man.
It's not going to play the people that like, you know.
Hey.
You wicked.
Yeah, me.
Boy, them wicked.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're hearing anything in the background, because Tito is not on mic yet. So Tito is there in the back, Tito, one of his sons, laughing and telling Swango, because apparently Swango's tell tales on the school, right? You never hear them somewhere? Okay. He hasn't heard these stories about his father, so that is why he's there.
Well, that's good, that's good.
Yes.
But I tell you, remember Swango talk, right?
Yeah.
Careful.
Yeah,
Eddie Melo don't want me.
Anybody want it for me?
Yeah.
well, if I want
You know why you want it for me? You want to become good lucky. you know, Eddie Melo
Well,
want
the first thing I tell you is they come here and that Melo look like you. If Melo only hear you, he knock your cup.
Well, they have the
So
kind of bald look, and
Hey,
Edmund
hey,
used to have the
stop
little
look
goatee
Stop look
beard.
friend, Petra.
And what?
Stop look friend.
she said she must.
Eddie Melo look like a
My
duck thing.
friend. So
Stop
I'm going
look
with I'm a friend.
Well, left day, just left day.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
But-
Okay. All right.
Can't do
Fine.
my boss. They look
Fine.
like
Y'all gonna be like that. Go ahead. Jeez, I'm
Oh, you
pressed.
want to say he look like somebody, you know?
So when you declare something go happen,
When we declare you want to feel.
But what you expect? You don't expect him to want feel.
Yeah, you have a feel, right?
He feel?
Yeah, you have a year the week is in the gallon. You have a feel. I didn't feel I take cup. You have to eat, make it choice.
So what?
I feel I take the cuff.
In the field, so we think he have I'll copy out. But he have a brother there, you know, and one of them younger ones. And call it Banks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he ain't cool, he's serious. You can sit down in the corner there over there like a pen car, and you say, boo no. You will know you ain't say nothing, but no make come fly land for me. But his mother, Eddie Melo mother was like my old lady. No, I can go by street from about 7 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock. When the night you must go home. They can't much blow you get home. You have to go.
There's some
No, and
weird
that
rules
make-
growing
and
up,
that's
right?
why we live so long. God bless Eddie Melo's soul where he is, where he go. I'm a good person.
But you told us just now that Eddie Melo was not necessarily into sports. That's a right way of putting
Yeah,
it?
correct.
Right. Did he try any other sport besides cricket?
He tried like a football on time and he fall long.
What I mean, he tried like a football.
Try, you know, because what I'm saying, the road that we live in, the road that we play in, called road court, we play everything.
Mm-hmm.
When we play cricket and car come, we just take up the panny, move it when the car go, we put it back.
That's a, you know what? I wonder if that's a Caribbean thing, because I know we did it in all the communities in Antigua, and I've seen it done in one or two when I travel. That must be a Caribbean thing. One more guy, so love the nigga road.
When the ball knock somebody, when everybody disappears.
But of
Funny
course.
No, it's like something within us. We can't wait until 4 o'clock come.
Yep.
So he tried the football.
He tried football.
He tried street football or
Yes.
club football.
Street.
He never played for no club.
Anyway, can't play no football that people go watch. Can't go want back the money.
what about basketball?
Me
Somebody
never-
said me have good jump shot.
Well, me never really see too tough because for only a 3 hours play, like 3-3, and he never really come around when at the basketball time.
Okay.
You see, he try when he go up a line, he think he play up there with them and up there. But
Played football?
no,
Basketball. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Line.
Let's check in.
But we was have one night time, so we usually take one run, like run right round road court, go up blah blah the hill, and then come down one next hill. And as I say, well, you're not tonight running, he gone. Cause he didn't invite me to that. Edward,
He had other talents.
he had. You see the talent to be in Calypso. But,
So you said he used to be the sing, introduce whatever events and
Anything.
so y'all have. Your recollection, because I know he liked reggae and all the other genre. Your recollection, how early he started singing at concerts and them? Because I know when you hear Calypsonians talk and Can and them, well, Can is a bad example, and so on. You hear, oh, I used to sing in church, or Carl used to sing in church.
well,
When they call him.
I can say this.
It's tricky.
We used to go on Sunday school with a lady named Sister White.
All these cheeky people in here, you know? Go
No,
ahead.
you don't like truth.
I'm just saying. Go
We
ahead.
used to go on Sunday school with a lady named Sister White. The church was maybe about 35, 40 feet away from where Eddie Melo does live with his father.
Right.
And he just go there and try something too. He just go there and try to. He just singing in it from morning.
Okay.
Singing it from morning. I don't know where he get it from. I mean, never hear old man sing, I mean, never hear old lady sing, I mean, never hear, but he decide with that.
And what about, I've heard persons speak about his community, his involvement in the community. Oh, no, you're a community man. Oh, no, I can't call Grace for man. Now he about you. Tell us about Eddie Melo on that
Eddie
side.
Melo, when he come to Empire, he will miss work.
Yes.
He will miss work while his Empire in front. If Empire behind, he gone. And he just have a phrase. The first somebody just had his phrase, young brother, he died in the Alipang. And he just say, well, for my team behind Jack Matthew, tell me the rest of the score. And Eddie Melo put that too. He had that too. When out there in Empire, playing Empire, somebody Empire won, and he said, boy, swung me gone now. Jack Matthew tell me the score, because me don't want to have people this load. And he come with that. But when he come to community thing, you know, he will there. You can call it anytime. Not a problem with that. You can call it for donate this and donate that. But then he moved from not really the community. He moved from a road court and he go the top at, I think, a Tyndale Road. No.
Oh, before you went to the road?
No. Get the road right. Armstrong
Road?
Top
Okay.
of Armstrong Road. And there where he reside until when Miss Thomas get here and then they move somewhere and somewhere. But me always have a good
Wait,
relationship.
Anna, hear the Thomas? You say Miss Thomas.
Miss Thomas. She not married?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying like it was a different name. Okay, my apologies. Go ahead.
I think she like
move within the road.
move go up.
Okay.
Maybe. But I'm a brilliant person.
I'm going to tell you behave and then I realize we should know better. Someone even bother try.
I'm brilliant. Me tell you, I'm a brilliant person.
You recall, I'm going to put you on the spot before I put Carl on the spot. I'm giving you a few and then I'm going to make you and Tito swap because you're not going to left me yet. Remember your father did things. Fathers did things for you.
I know that.
Okay, good.
You
By the way, all the gentlemen... Oh, sorry?
If you don't want to give me your iPod, darling, you want to see me alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to We're the Ones on Point FM with your host, Petra Williams. And we are celebrating the life of Tyrone Eddie Melo Thomas. It's a good time to take a station break because I really want to crack up and I really shouldn't as the host. In studio with me this afternoon, presently, we have Swango, what's your name?
That's it.
You wait for that.
We have in studio. No, Swango, seriously, what's your name?
Swango, man.
What's your first name?
Swango Joseph.
Sure.
Man.
Thank you. Me never asked. So in studio we have Joseph Swango Mark. We have Carl the Panman Richards. Off mic we have Tito Melo Thomas. And off mic we also have Can, how you not have no nickname? Can what your nickname? Whatever. Can Cordis. Yes. Some KC, some very anyways, yes. And as I said, we're discussing the life and times of Eddie Melo. And I found it important today for us to share and remember, I'm going to share this with you guys because Eddie Melo actually was to have been my guest the first Wednesday in June after me begging him for about 2 years. He did an interview with me for The Best of the Rest last year. And Eddie Melo come in and Eddie Melo started to talk about things that had nothing to do with the best. Eddie Melo, that honestly, like, yeah, you know how long me try to get you in the studio? He said, but, and we went into all these kind of things. So and then he and I had an argument. It was an argument, well, several of them, but this one in particular, because all of us in here would know that going to find a song for Eddie Melo on social media is like looking for a needle in a haystack. Except for the ones that ABS would have posted for the competition, and we might get a few from Tent and a few from this thing. It has been very difficult to get Eddie Melo's songs. And so Eddie Melo and I will show one of y'all my mess because I haven't deleted it yet. I haven't deleted the message thread with him. We had finally agreed on my 10. I can't play them today because I'm going to ask nobody permission because you did and nobody me know. We agreed on my 10 and my 10 were to be loaded up on YouTube. We don't have the picture, we don't have everything. It was supposed to have been done for my Christmas gift. 23rd of December come Eddie Melo and me have to think about it. January come Eddie Melo cuss about something with somebody and culture and something. February come he and Public Works vex. So because he and Public Works vex, therefore me can't get to load up the song. I couldn't find him for March. Didn't find him in April, I think. He had traveled and then he came back. And then when he came back now, the man come up me with a totally different story. What you do for Carrie Fester? I'm like, what? Carrie who? Me a lime for Carrie Fester. Just in the dialect, me a lime. By Brownie. Me a line for Carrie Fester. Oh, and something. And Carrie Fester. And never talk to Mr. Matthew. And never talk to Annette. And da. Okay, fine, no problem. This has nothing to do with me because I'm liming for Carrie Fester. Lo and behold, the night before Eddie Melo passed on, Annette can testify to this because he is messaging me to telling me something he telling Annette and some story. And he know, and I know that I have to go back to help with Pan and I have to ting and the best of the rest because one of the things that he and I had discussed, I have to say this is not my thing, but I have to put this out there. Minister Green and Eddie Melo had come to me to discuss, not together, differently, about Carrie Festa, because we were all concerned about the fact that last time Barbados had Carrie Festa, and if you all remember, Barbados has Carnival, there's a break, and then there's Carrie Festa. And there was a concern about the crowd, making sure that especially those Antiguans who would come home would stay for Carrie Festa. Eddie Melo and I had this idea that we're going to blend Carrie Festa, find a way to convince everybody to bring up Carrie Festa, so we go straight from the Carnival Bacchanal into the Calypso session. So notwithstanding that the people them done say no, it not happen, we don't know whether them ask or nothing. Man messaged me about, yeah, we have to find a way to keep activities going between Carnival and Carrie Festa to keep people here. My last comment thing was, boss, and nearly 10 days between Carnival and Carrie Festa, it not happen, let me alone, good night. Those were my last words. Melo. I smile because it was related to the things that he loved, aka festival and culture. Man, argue with me. You understand? And I think if I go back to Swango, I will pick up here. Swango, you would share with me about, I commented it though. You would share with me about his love, because you mentioned about his singing, but his love for culture.
Mess with that very matter why. He will need, why is he know that they will come? He deal that is. But the best song, the song for me that Eddie Melo love, that me love a lot, we bring over boy, was song that my all man stand still, and woman just back on the woody. Me can't remember the whatsoever the true name was.
Jam Them. The song named Jam Them. The song named Jam Them. The song named Jam Them. Jam them, vision band. Jam them, vision band. Jam them till them wet. Jam them till them sweat. Jam them. Listen, I have the song and here. May have the song by title, may have the Vision Band album. I can tell you everything about the song. The song named Dress. This hear me now. See there? The song named Jam Them. And then when you hit the chorus, you go dress back, dress back, dress back.
That's the best tune for me that he ever said to me. So this, you know, the nice tune and then like a flip flop and so, you know, me not really tap too long with them there. But
it's your face.
You know, look up there, you see.
Oh, you look like my mother child.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a message from the Quadadley Cooperative. Let me make sure now. See, this is when I'm going to get in trouble because they left me with instructions. Is that one? Is that? It's not that. Ah.
I would like to take the opportunity on behalf of Quadadley Kaiso Collaborative to express sincere condolences. I would like to take the opportunity on behalf of Quadadley Kaiso Collaborative to express sincere condolences to the family, friends, Calypso fraternity, fellow musicians on the passing of King Eddie Melo Thomas. To part is the lot of all mankind. The world is a scene of constant leave-taking, and the hands that grasp in cordial greetings today are doomed ere long to unite for the last time when quivering lips pronounce the word farewell. It is a very sad moment for us as Calypsonians in Antigua and Barbuda as we bid farewell to the King. King Eddie Melo has always been extremely professional, hardworking, and someone who would stretch himself to the extreme limit to achieve whatever he believes in. He had a brilliant mind and always brought creative new ideas to the music industry. We lost a friend, gone too soon. We lost a great mind, gone too soon. We lost an exceptional singer, gone too soon. And as the angels welcome him in concert singing, "Don't Turn Your Back on Your Culture." And we as Calypsonians will continue to be the vanguard of his excellence. Continue to sleep in peace, my brother. We love you.
Eddie gone home to meet his music maker. Melo gone, Eddie Melo gone. To a stage waiting for him over yonder. Carry on, carry on, carry on and sing. Carry on and sing for all the joy you bring. Long live the king. Oh, yes, sir.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, that was a message from the Lord, I'm going to get myself into trouble. Kwaladli Kaiso Collaborative. The president, Mr. Eugene Kasiba Silcott. You better not be listening to him in case I made a mistake. And he just wanted to share on behalf of the fraternity a message. He would have been with us, except that, Mr. Silcott has stepped up and he's now a trainer of trainers. So he's training quite a number of people across the region as they get ready to return to the air traffic control business. Also, I want to at this time acknowledge the staff from Public Works, especially those that work in the department with Eddie Melo. They were trying to flip a coin to see who would come today. And those who were originally chosen were too emotional. And the one person who decided to come, he has duties with, it's unfortunately it's funeral season, so he had some duties that he could not get out of. So they asked to convey their love and their appreciation and the fact they'll miss Eddie. I am talking to the staff that he worked with for people that are cut AI over day. The staff that he worked with. I am very clear and crystal in what I said. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, now we're back and we are still celebrating the life and times of Eddie Melo, Tyrone, Ian, Thomas. And for those of you who may have missed the start, we had very entertaining time with Swango, bringing us up to date on Eddie Melo's early life and him Swango. Wait, he put on his hat. He take off the shades. See, now we take him off camera. He took off the shades. Let me get all the eyes there, Swango. Oh, okay, let me turn. This is my best side. You can get my best side? My best side. Swango, you just have one name there for Eddie Melo, but we're going to come back to that. Tito.
What's up?
Your dad. You get to give us the family side. By the way, we should all here convey our best wishes to the family. We know it's a difficult time. I'm hoping that you all would have been surrounded by love and support. I think you tired of me call you. Yes. And you have a double jeopardy. So for those of you who don't know, yes, I'm putting it out there. He could shoot me. But Tito is burying a brother tomorrow. Before he buries his father. So he has back-to-back funerals. So you are in a particularly difficult spot. We want to convey our condolences to you, to the entire family, to your siblings, to the wife, to everybody. Eddie, growing up with Eddie Melo as dad. Ring your neck round and go pan the mic.
When I say rough, okay. Not rough in the sense, in a bad way, but rough in the sense, the father does have a high standard. Set a very high standard for himself, and he expected a lot of people to, fall in line. So, as in, if you step outside of the house, he watch you from head to toe. I always say, anytime you step out of the house, you're not only representing me, you're not only representing yourself, but you represent the family.
So that
dress
meant
your
what?
best.
You have to dress
when you
well.
go on the street, act accordingly. Nowadays, them kids on the street and do as like on a bike, eh? Go up in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, early 2000. Just like what Swango say, if somebody only see me on the street, they farm the food. And I say, you Eddie, and I can't hide. No matter how much I try.
Yeah.
I try. Peter, I try for hide, we can't hide. So when people see me, hey, you Eddie Melo son, and I go on so tall. So once you see the number, that 783 number, call you. I'm trembling now.
Why?
You don't know what comes behind that.
What comes after that? I'm curious.
No, we can't.
No, I'm just curious. Is it a lecture?
Boy, listen, he never hit me. But the man, when the man open his mouth, the fear that he drive, that evoke out of his mouth, that accompany you as a son, or you fall in line one time, boy. My father never hit me in my life. But if me do anything out to do it, I'm an old lady. I'm gonna call your father. That's it. No, can't sleep. No. The rest of the day done, Petra. We can't sleep. I mean, no one hear the man advice. And that is just the respect that he got from all his kids.
Okay.
Everybody just respect him, but you don't know he's a family man. He's huge, like family oriented. He do everything for family.
So how did all the siblings get along?
I mean, everybody got along well.
Your...
Everybody got along well. And my father don't have friends. He have family. He tell you straight up. He not no friend. Anybody that you see around here, anybody that you talk to, anybody that especially from Grace Farm community, a family. If you ask him, Daddy, any friend? No, I have family. So anybody that you see my life.
So he had a large family.
A huge family, and nobody love Christmas more than he.
Tell us about that.
No, Christmas he man put on a show us. Excuse the dialect, but put on a show, Petra. Curtain us off will come down 2 days before Christmas now.
For the man? That's not I thought there's the woman that was interested in these things. Any of you men are interested in this curtain thing?
Let tell you, this is how
you too?
No, he just
no
and
wonder,
that's what
no,
I like
no wonder you're here, brethren.
No, that's what I like
iron
about
curtain for Christmas, right?
What?
You go up an iron curtain, got that curtain and now go up from electricity. Mother, that her curtain and now hang in the house unless you don't iron.
Yeah, so I think it's from a parental thing, but if it's one thing I always can say from him is when you talk about fashion, and he always let me know music and fashion go hand in hand. So that's why
I used to get some lectures about that.
Right, that's why he's so good in his job as well too. Because when it comes to setting up for accommodations and designing people offices and all these things, that's why he just go hand in hand. But he love Christmas, music is his passion. When it comes to carnival time, everybody just have to just step back and give him his space. If it's one thing, knowing that from early June to the end of August, that the carnival season, he make sure he sort out everybody, because as soon as he hit June, he can see he can check you in and make sure you're good, but trying to stress you out too much, because he has to make his contribution to the art form and the culture of Antigua and Barbuda. So, but outside of that, I think he did his very best. No man is perfect, but he was always there, he was always present, so in some way, shape, or form. So.
Speaking of your emphasis on carnival,
yeah.
I'm going to come back to you on carnival, but of course we have to go to his carnival brother. I guess his all-around brother, but I have to stress that. Carl.
Hello.
I have to say condolences to you, because you take this thing rough. You good? Tell us about, let me see where I want to start with Carl and Eddie Melo. He went to Trinidad for his music, and you did too. Why?
First of all, let me publicly say condolences to the family, his wife, Tito, the rest of the kids and family. It's a really rough time for the family, more so the rest of the people that really loved and appreciated Eddie Melo. It's hard. I know the wife is going through a tough time, and his pet. No, if you know anything about Eddie Melo, he loved all his kids, yes, but pride and joy was his pet, Timon.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear Eddie Melo, the years in Trinidad in Rome, traveling, driving, going where we're going, he said, boy, look, I'm checking for the pet now, boy, Eddie Melo, colorful with the language.
The first time he said pet, I was wondering who he was talking.
Or
what animal. I realized he said
that. He pet that. If a day come and Eddie Melo and talk to that boy, Eddie Melo go hospital. Everything for he loved them all them yesterday, but he must know what go on with the pet. And if you see, Tito can tell you more than me, but if you see them interact, you swear the boy is a newborn baby in the cradle.
And funny enough, everybody just accept it as that. Because sometimes in a family, you say, oh, he get better treatment than he are. Everybody just accept it as, listen, just left Eddie Melo. Like, nobody can talk or discipline. If you only raise it, you say, hello. That's not a fair job. You just feel like.
That's pride and joy, Yeah. Hands off when it comes to the pet.
Okay.
Are you talking about the same lead belly?
I mean, he keep much over the years, so I mean.
Who's Lead Belly?
Eddie Melo.
You have some stories left for us, so you that's one and Panda one. We coming to you for that.
But to address the question itself, apparently I didn't know that Eddie Melo has been eyeing entering the Calypso arena for a while. But as Tito mentioned about high standard, he didn't like a lot of the things he was seeing. And then after I came in, he decided to enter. I think it might have been 2 years after, and he came to see me and said, "Pan man, me like where do it. High standard, bam, 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 bam. You're never gonna get something blow, but it is what it is." So he said he wanted to do the music the way I did it, and he wanted it at a particular level, particular standard. Plus, he had long been hearing about Less Than Paul and so on. So that is the direction which he wanted to go. And I, being who I am, I don't have the time to block nobody. Eddie Melo's talent is Eddie Melo's talent. People cuss me telling me, "Hey, Chupet, boy, you help Eddie Melo go bang you." I've learned so much from Eddie Melo. As a matter of fact, I'm no songbird, everybody know that. I'm a singer. But if you want to learn to pitch and to hold notes, try and sing Eddie Melo songs. Try and sing them. Tell you more. A song that Eddie Melo did, Toast to Culture. My manager, Alvin Daniel, at the time, offered that to me, like maybe a few years before Eddie did it. And what is for you is for you. The song didn't resonate with me. Like Toast to Culture, bam, bam, bam. And the demo that I heard.
That's the don't turn your back on your culture. Because people call it that, But go ahead.
Right, but the name of the song is Toast to Culture.
Right.
And I said, nah, I glossed over that. In comes Eddie Melo. And after hearing Eddie Melo the very first time, I remember Alvin said, "Oh God, boy, that boy had throat, boy. Oh God, that man had a real throat, boy." That is how the thread I didn't say you can sing.
Yes.
Once you hear to tell you have throat, you could sing. And he said, "Wait now, let me see if that man could, And he gave Eddie Melo the song. What is for a man is for a man, because Eddie Melo breathed life into that song. That song sounded like nothing, and then when Eddie Melo picked up, black people, shit, boy, me made him a song. But guess what? I would not have been able to do justice to that. Because if you try to sing the song by yourself, you sound like a frog croaking. But because of his abilities and that melodious voice, he gave life to that song to what it is today. And he wanted to do music, as I said before, at a particular standard. He wanted to have that rich, healthy music. I mean, I think they say Paddy James when ugly put on good clothes. That's why I go for good music. But for Eddie Melo, he just wanted something else to match his voice. Good music with a melodious voice, you're ahead of the game. And that is what he endeavored to do. But everything at a high standard, and he's very meticulous. Eddie Melo will sit down, he has a new song. He ain't looking at the paper. He learned the melody. And he started to hum. Once again, I have to mention Alvin. That man could learn a song fast, boy. Because he had his unique way. Whereas lots of us would sit down and try to remember the song, going after lyrics. No, Eddie Melo ingrained the melody. And after that, the words will just change. Because he had the melody down pat, and that was his way of doing things.
Okay.
Yeah, but he said he had to be a part of it. And hey, I embraced him. We did what we had to do. And the man made it. And he's very determined. Once he set a goal, Eddie Melo said, "Man, you come with something, bang them, bleep, bleep, bleep. One more time and I'm done with them now."
Yeah, I think I remember the last time he entered. He said,
resolute.
"I come in," he said, you know what he actually told me? He want to make a reggae album. And he had the money. I was like, okay, so what the plan? He said, make it win Calypso crowd. I'm like, excuse me? He says, I want to make a reggae album, but I had no money. I'm going to go in and Calypso crowd. I don't know if he shared that with you, but that's what he told me. That's what he told me straight up.
Eddie Melo actually has tracks recorded in Jamaica. He was working on an album. I think he had made a trip to Jamaica sometime. He was working with Dean Fraser and a couple other people.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to source right now, because, I mean, listen, if it's one thing about my dad, right, Petra, I don't know if he thought, he always have this fear of him not remembering things, like his brain going, right? So he would write down everything. So my dad have like approximately about 40 something journals.
Yeah.
So for me to go and he write, let me say everything. If he's supposed to come here today, he writes it down.
He always had that journal. He had always had a book with him.
The journal. So right now, to backtrack everything is just some time to go through the journal, but for sure, that's what we're trying to do, just to try to source the music and where you have them. I spoke to
Roger
Amari from
Amari, because I spoke to Roger.
Like two over there as well too. So it's just for us to spoke to Roger Perry as well too. It's just for us to put it together. But what he said about the reggae song, he actually said that. Because I remember when he was doing.
So it wasn't me alone. He told so.
No, we have always had the conversation about music. So when you went to Calypso, I was like, I mean, you started out with soca. Everybody say you have this reggae voice. Why all of a sudden, no, after being in soca for so many years, you're deciding to go into, calypso? Say, boss, that's where the money there.
Yeah.
It was a vehicle.
I go in where the money is.
The man tell me.
And he loved it too.
And
He loved it, he
that
did.
farm. But I think I think when he went, because the first year when he didn't win, he was super pissed. And then when he went in the second year, and then the third year, and then every year he just going back and going back. I was like, dude, when is this, reggae album gonna come? He said, just cool, man. You come. Just cool. Let me get 1 or 2 more chances in here. And then, But I think after he won the second time, he was like, you know what? Yeah, let me just.
I don't understand how you can win and be unhappy. Carl, why was he unhappy? Because he won, yet he wasn't happy. What was up with that? Can you remember?
I wouldn't know. That wouldn't be personal to Eddie Melo, but to pick up on something Tito said about when he lost the first year. No, I mean, that's personal to him.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not for me to divulge that. But in terms of the first year when he won and he was a little pissed when he came and he didn't win. Because, I mean, here was this golden voice. People like to talk this nonsense, but calypso is not about singing. They like to move the goalposts. When their favorite, who might not be a vocalist, is doing well, calypso is not about singing. When somebody is just doing well, all of a sudden, make somebody bend a note bad or, something like that. Oh, he sing off, he off key. And they move goalposts all the time. But I think that year why he was pissed, because all indications were that Eddie Melo was one of the favorites to win. He had the material, he was, fine voice and so on, but a lot of little things, what he didn't know, he had to respect that calypso stage. It was much more than a sweet voice. Yeah. Plus, there was a lot of things going on around.
The word you're seeking, Carl, Carl, this is your first time with me, isn't it? You're on Swango. You see this program? You don't necessarily have to work with the diplomatic phraseologies. You can say there was a lot of politics.
Listen.
Carl and nothing to protect. The year Carl means supposed to win and he Carly crown.
But hold on, when we say
he win 1 year, and the year when he was supposed to win, then he crown. So Carl had nothing to protect, not like he. Moving right along.
When you say politics, you mean the calypso politics?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say things that were going on in and around the calypso at the time.
Calypso politics.
Made him a little uneasy and took him out of his game completely. When I see people walking around, humming and murmuring things and competition going on and people like zombies all over and so on. I mean, he couldn't handle it. But this is a competition for you. People do all kinds of things to get on their skin, to get in your head. It's a mind game.
So wait, hold on. So the obia got to him? But the obia wasn't for him. The obia meant it was woman to woman obia. How he ended up in the obia story?
A lot of mind games were being played and being new to the scene and being the favorite. A bullseye was on his back, but
poor
he didn't
baby.
know.
Yeah, because I was there throughout the whole calypso career, right? Because I think that's when I really started taking an interest to the music. So he pretty much like dragged me on from the first time to all the times. And I think the first year when he went, being a part of Soca Monarch, you as an artist you can't control the team that you bring on that stage. You can control yourself, but when you bring a ton of person to be props or to whatever, you can't control them. Okay. So what I think happened in the first year was that when we were all backstage, sometimes have to share tent, whatnot. So maybe he came in very right. So he came in very green. So he's there, trying to hold his own, and all this nice.
Who made the manager?
I think his buddy from Boston usually.
Yes, Robert. I was supposed to try and find him.
It was mind games that others were playing that got the better of Eddie Melo on that night, because Eddie Melo was on point. And by the time they're done with Eddie Melo probably just go through the motion, totally, out of sync, out of space with what his plans were.
And then the second year, he was like, let's re-strategize. And then he just literally, pitch a tent way in the back of the corner.
Yeah, wouldn't let nobody touch him.
Nobody park the cars a certain way, so when he go in the back there, nobody can talk to him, nobody can do nothing, and he just pretty much.
I don't have time for all of that, right? I'm focused. I have to do what I have to do, and I done with that. But everybody prepare for competition differently. But this thing. Listen, when you go to show up to a competition, imagine Calypsonians argue for a dressing room.
Isn't that every year?
No. If you know the kind of conditions how we function under, you keep quiet. Yeah, but this year, the CDC conceded. They gave us a lovely tent, air conditioned, chairs, table. They didn't put none away for happy people to hang the clothes, but at least it was a start. And I show up to the ground, nobody in the dressing room. I said, but Calypso is strange. All is nice and now you get what you want, nobody here. Only to discover there was a black hat right in the middle of the tent to the table with a yellow lime.
And nobody was.
Time the man come and see that. All man take off. I said, you got to be kidding me.
He was like, yo, no go into the
Ain't
room.
nobody that. Nobody. I said, look, let me tell you something, right? Me argue for the dressing room.
You dressed in the dressing room?
Yes.
Did it impact you in any way?
What? Box the blast and I told you to go and get ready for competition. One lime can tap you from get dressed and prepare for competition. One lime? What the hell a lime and
Not
a black hat
a
do?
lime. A lime and a black hat in the middle
Mind
of
games.
the dressing room.
Mind games.
It was crazy.
Kind of, does have that kind of drama for Panorama?
That's not good.
No, it's crazy.
That's like
Let me start with
This is
Soca
just-
Manana.
No,
Gets
this I didn't
you,
ask you anything
But
about
the beauty
Soca.
about, but the
Nah,
beauty
still about
about me,
Soca Manana.
no, but this is
But
the beauty about me because I learned from that, right? The year when I went to Soca Manana, I just stayed in my car. Until the time, and I watched the show on my phone, stayed in my car. Okay, time to go on, and then I went on and did what I had to
Me and
do.
Eddie don't let us get vexed come competition time. Because it's a vex, not no enemy business, but we bring up our team, musicians, everything, bam, we are.
Yeah, and y'all are using the same musicians, the same
Right,
backup
so
singers and
work
so on,
fine.
right?
But then we have a problem.
What?
Because Eddie Melo make you know in no uncertain terms, competition day, when he hit 1 o'clock, nobody call him.
Yeah,
He
funny
gone home.
Gonna relax.
So now me have to cuss me say Eddie Melo, our people here. If it's a case where with the accommodation is not a jolly beach or wherever, and we might have to carry food for them, I say, so who could do what? We say, boss.
You.
We don't know how you could go now.
We don't pay them move. We don't pay them
We don't pay. And that was his stance.
Different man.
Much to my detriment. But that's just who he was.
No,
when it came
Carl,
to
you were supposed to get
competition.
strategic. Find somebody for do that.
Boy, listen, let me tell you
Listen,
now.
different. And listen, if the show starts at 8 o'clock, at 5:30, Eddie Melo in a recreation ground.
With the lime and
Oh,
the black
yeah,
hat.
me tell Eddie
No,
Melo.
fine.
Eddie Melo, listen, let me tell you something. You organize to get less than up to the grounds. Because me do them every year, me not do them this year. Enough is enough. And me gone home. What the hell is that?
The worst thing can't ever do work.
7 o'clock, Eddie Melo called me. Well, less than. I say, what do you mean, well, less
Man,
than?
meaning
Where
not
you?
carry nobody.
Recreation go. I say, well, I want to handle something tonight. Well, guess what? Who for to sing?
You? You want to sing? Or you need Lester?
So me never go to listen first. And the devil can't think that is vexed.
I never get to bad
Boss,
vibes,
me
boy.
tell you, dog, I forget somebody, so.
But the vexation never lasted
No,
long.
no, no, that's the time. But, that is just to speak to his focus. I mean, we could have, hindsight, we needed to put some different things and strategies in place.
But every year y'all
But,
did it the
Boy,
same way.
No, I'm just talking about that little fallout there. That little fallout.
I think that fallout was part of your uniqueness, I guess.
Hey, it is what it is, man.
Okay.
I know he no hold grudges easily though.
Anybody? You know what? I'm gonna leave that
I think
question.
the
I'm gonna
year
leave that
even-
question for the next
I
guest.
think even when the year when you won as well too. I remember we were backstage and then after you came, I think the world. Today,
Hello,
it was the second
hello,
song, right?
hello, Mike.
Oh my bad. The world today,
World
right?
Today,
And that was
yeah.
the second song, right?
Yeah.
And I remember after you came off the stage, Daddy was like, yeah, Pun man had this one in the bag tonight. He come out and execute properly, and yeah. I'm say you sure? It's like, yeah, man, watch the results and see. Cause he very.
Carl me
you know,
lucky. Carl get some good judge that night.
He was always there and supportive, eh?
Hello.
He said directly. Listen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even if the judges didn't give it to him,
I
in
got
his
you. I
eyes,
got you.
Carl was like, no, the performance, everything was,
Eddie Melo will tell you straight up. He was Ivina fan, was a Carrie fan, and Altie fan.
How you be one
Palmer
Altia fan?
I'm telling you.
How you be one Altia fan and one Ivina
He
fan?
love them. I always got support from him, eh? When he come, he play shot and he gone. He's not the one to hang around and say, in a free camp. He look for a playing Ivina, whether he push you when he done. He said, boy, the queen point, oh gosh, the queen, they make it tonight. Meaning Altia. And then Zachary somebody that you have to find the time for. Because he has a presence. Well, he cost me a night and day, night and day. But he ain't be a body, eh?
Yeah.
But he cost me, he like a monster. Beep, 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 beep. But at the be cost back. But then, nothing really there behind that. When he now go in the last, something tell me, he said, man, you drunk, something wrong with you? Me telling him, me done with this, the boss. You can go on, but I done with this. Right? No, and he had grand plans. We have to get into that another time. He had some real plans for the industry.
He did.
That
He
studio
did.
to stage thing was not no sham. But hey, it wasn't to be by him. It's just life.
But because I always hear people always asking, oh, your own man has to talk about this and I was talk about that, especially when it comes to the other Calypsonian and so on. I always tell them, listen, when competition come, this man activate, I don't know where he activate this mode from, but competition mode. You see, right after competition, we always had conversation about the art form. And he would tell me, Tito, I respect the art form more than anything else. So every Calypsonian that touch that stage, you respect them. They're there for a reason. Their music is good. They have certain elements about their music that I respect, and he put me on my back foot. So he overanalyze everybody and see where their weaknesses and try to attack. So at the end of the day, he was always about the culture more so than anything else. And he dedicated most of his life to it too. So
You wouldn't believe I'm trying to download the song and I'm having a horrid time. Yeah, I don't understand. I have a question for Swango. Swango, I'm giving you a question because then I'm going to rotate you to either wait for me or I'll connect, the other time. They wait for me.
Hey, Swango watch it funny. People in the picture.
Swango always watches me funny. It's his trademark. It's the thing that connects us.
It's a human thing we connect together.
You see, I tell you, it's the thing that connects
It's
us.
not about calypso, nor reggae, nor on-stage carnival. It's a thing. It's a thing.
we can't explain it.
It's a flat thing.
But before I forget though, Tito, y'all really need to go after that Get Auntie's links in Jamaica.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna touch upon that. We're gonna touch upon
Yeah,
that
because
in the next
I
segment.
remember-
We're gonna touch upon that. Swango, you mentioned what was that name? Lead what?
Lead belly.
So we really need to have a conversation with you about
Eddie Melo, as far as I know, named Tyrone. Ian.
Eddie Melo Thomas.
Eddie Melo Thomas.
Edo Meadow or some people.
Edo Melo. What? Yeah, well, that's a whole other story. What was this lead belly story? You done diss the man in the front.
No, we never did.
You done regale us. Yes, which we done regale us with the frock story.
That way man look like he.
No,
Carl is distressed that you and Eddie Melo share similar facial features.
Nothing go so.
I said,
well,
Carl
all you
is
have to do, Carl,
distressed.
what all you have for Eddie Meadow, and you look like he gimme. Nothing we left back.
Yeah, good.
Lead belly.
My proper catastrophe with fees so you can get that.
Oh, you gonna take that?
What? The
You can
lead?
take the cutters?
You worry with that. They see them are them problem. I don't know.
Talk to me about the lead belly.
Oh, the lead belly come from, our young boy fight karate. So people give them, who them back like. Some man say them back Ching Sing, some say them back Wang Yung, some say them back Carter Wang. He said, me not back none of them there. Me on lead belly. So I can punch you in here and you feel nothing. So there where the lead belly come from.
And I bet there's somebody like you.
Yeah, man.
I'm afraid
because
to
that's what
act.
he's saying
I'm
here.
afraid to
No, in the
act.
drop,
You take the blow? You take it?
No, yeah.
You take it good? You take it
That's
good?
where you get the lead belly from. Your belly, you want. What look, I want sample man that, man.
Make sure if I can't see the
You hear
video.
me told you?
Yeah, that's the word.
You hear me
Yeah,
told you?
we told you.
Well, something sweetie.
Yeah,
When
we
the game
told you.
show, he said, "Well, Eddie Melo, Jones is he said,
Told you that,
you
boy.
stupid. You hear me told you? And he leaned his head so. You hear me told you?
Not the man, man.
Carl, your memories of Eddie Melo. I want you to just reflect for a second, 2 seconds. You laugh. And give us you've given us quite a few. What would be, let me change the question. What would be the 1, 2 things that you'd want the people who are listening to this tribute today to remember about Eddie Melo? Your parting shot almost, because I'm going to rotate you with Roger.
Eddie Melo had a passion for the culture. He loved what he did. And just respect the music and the culture. That way, you'll make him a happy man.
That's so like broad.
Nah, because that's
That's
the
it.
measure of the man.
That's him.
He wasn't single in any particular way. He had so many different passions and things he wanted to do. Right? That, like Tito said, one day it's reggae. The next day is calypso. The other day he wanted to see, and don't talk about the political future of the country. When you get started in Melo on that, I mean, the man could wax lyrically to borrow a phrase from Darren.
Just whatever you do when he was waxing, let me catch you outside the brownie.
Oh, jeez. No, seriously, he had a passion. Listen, you see that song Ghetto Boys? That come from India.
I was listening to that
For
today.
years, Eddie Melo said, "Pan man, this is the problem. This last minute country. And you see Gaston Bone in it." And he said, "Look, the man, the ghetto man." And the song was born right there because it's a long time he's been wanting to say his piece. But I mean, being a civil servant, and so you have to be careful what you say, how you say it.
So he used his art form. He wrote it?
He was passionate about it. No, he had
He laid out the idea.
He laid it out basically, and GB put
it together. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but that was really his passion, the culture, the politics, and so on. But he was just passionate about his country. And another big one, the endangered species. It's a serious thing. Those came from inside. He wanted people to know how he felt about this country. And, we need to change the way we do things. We need to take time and plan this last minute Antigua thing. That is why he was usually furious with CDC and so on, the way they do things. He said, "Look, man, you have a whole year to plan, and yet every minute, it always comes down to the last minute.
Hence why he stopped singing. Carl, I want to thank you very much. Thank you for accepting my invitation. This is going to be between me and you. I'm saying it out here, but you'll understand.
Make sure it's longer than
that contact that you gave me and what you told me to expect is what I got. I couldn't afford him, so he's not here with us today.
Well, I tell you this much.
You see this one here, I'm gonna like he. I'm a friend, but I'm gonna like he. Okay, this one over here for Eddie Melo. You understand? I mean,
It's Eddie Melo, look at this stuff.
Get your coffers.
Coming now.
Get your coffers ready. You know the funny thing about
I have to pay a man to come talk about Eddie Melo? No. I think we're doing well. Carl, thank you very much for joining us.
It was a pleasure.
I know you have a marathon. I think you're doing another tribute again tomorrow, but I know you will do justice.
You gotta do.
And I wish you the best, of course, Pan Man. And one of these days, we're going to have to talk about you, the Pan Man. Yes? So thank you very, very much. Swango, I'm going to rotate you out as well. But before you go, I want for you, your Eddie Melo, community man, your brother. Because when I call Swango, I need you to come talk on my show about somebody. See, your brother, Eddie Melo. And then I asked, so I get half the story before. By the way, the half of what Swango tell me before he came here, he didn't touch yet. Just to let you know how much there is of the stories to tell. Swango, your parting shot. Eddie Melo.
Hey, look. I just was serious, man. And it's so pity he have to go. This year, my daughter's they'd go PM school, supposed to enter the competition. And he don't plan, so I'm going to have a word. Me get them 2 songs. And the day when he come on the TV that they say Eddie made a pass, my 13-year-old daughter said, "Daddy, the man died and I get to sing." And every time, I hear about the Eddie Melo, I get this feeling within me. But we lose a good personnel. We get a good personnel. He's a real good man. Okay? Nothing. I don't know when I will get somebody.
If you're listening, come check me, please.
I don't know when I think his son can get Eddie Melo.
Listen. So let me be honest with you, right?
I'm a special man.
I remember the first time we started to sing Eminem music, and somebody asked me about, walking in his footsteps. And I'm gonna tell them, I wear size 14, and he wears size 11. Are the biggest size 11 shoes I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
This
apple fall far from the tree when it comes.
You know where part to do me? What's happening down there? Me sell shellfish and your part come.
Yeah.
And he tell me, give he one. And when they don't eat, he tell me, look, that's the point time you just cup me now get paid. This is the kind of man within him.
Can't take up Tito, and then I want to switch Tito to the Swango is. Listen. So that means shellfish with me. That means from the set that Eddie Melo get. Remember, you don't pay for them. You pay for them in all and coffee you don't get. You don't pay for. Then don't pay for more shellfish. Next.
Me tell Eddie Melo in a pen.
Yeah, you say pay in the cough. man. Sure. Just either go and I'll catch up. Happy Father's Day in advance, Swango. With the rest of the things I have for you, Swango, I'll deliver. You know, Saturday we can look for you. And we will talk off center, you know, separate and everything. All right, Swango? All right. No, your wife understand that me and you good like that. She understand.
Brothers and sisters and other sex?
Yes.
You get it? You got it? That's it? Let me see. Is this one?
Baby.
to love somebody else. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we're back. We're the ones. We took a music break, and of course, in this era of social distancing and personal responsibility and collective responsibility, we just did a little refreshing. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is We're the Ones. Yeah, unfortunately, we have to live with this.
Very strong.
Yeah, this is We Are the Ones on Wednesday on Point FM, and on We're the Ones Wednesday, we look at our personalities, our people. It's all about us, for us, by us. And this afternoon, we started off looking at Father's Day and paying tribute to our fathers and recognizing that there'll be two very special events for Father's Day. The first one, from about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we will be joining the villas at Sunset Lane for a Father's Day luncheon. And it's a fancy, fancy, fancy menu. And I'm going to get my daddy some smooth honey roasted pumpkin soup. And then I'm going to get my baby daddy some cream conch and corn chowder. The way I'm laughing for what? I have a child with a man, so he's not my child's father.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. And then my baby daddy to be over there. Carl, I'm going to get him the pan-seared fresh salmon with... You see? I know. Pan-seared for the pan man, Look. Yes. So, and there's quite an extensive menu. And the contact information, you can contact Jackie at the villas at Sunset Lane on 785-3269, or Instagram Villas at Sunset, or Facebook Villas at Sunset Lane. And she's accepting orders through Friday at 5. And she forgot, I didn't say the carrot cake topped with cream cheese icing. Okay, that's what I'll have, yes, for my dessert. Carl? Carrot cheese topped with cream cheese icing. Carl, I'm going to send this to your wife. I'll tell you nothing else. You and Roger, let me send them to your wife. Some options that she might have. Yes. Okay, so, yes. And of course, we also have Hell's Gate will be having I Call Him Dad, their Father's Day concert, virtual concert. It'll be streamed live via their Facebook page. So log on now, like the page so that you get the notification when they're ready for 7:30 Sunday. Spread out on the lawn, pull out your big screen, pull out your TV, get your phone, get your dad, get the whole family, and enjoy a wonderful concert. You're going to see me somewhere in there. Dream on, Petra. Yes. And of course, today, like I said, it's We're the Ones Wednesday, and it's about us. Today, it's all about Tyrone, Ian, Eddie Melo, what other, Iron Belly? Lead Belly Thomas. And it's for us. It's for all of us in the Antigua and Barbuda diaspora, and those further afield who've been very familiar with Eddie Melo and his music. And it's by us. And by us, specifically today, Swango has just left us. Swango grew up with Eddie Melo. He gave us a lot of early life stories of very interesting stuff. And we had Carl. Carl is still with us, but he's off mic. Carl shared about their Calypso life together. Carl was the one who grandfathered him in to get blues and then to share blues. Yes, right, Carl? That's a good way to put it. And of course, we have Tito. Tito is on mic, but off camera. And we are now joined we have Richard Aparicio online. Richard? Oh dear, sorry. Richard?
Hi, how are you, Petra?
Hi, good afternoon, yes. And Richard is a man of culture. Richard, you have George Calypso too, right?
Yes, that's
okay.
I was in fact a bystander of Carnival before I was dragged into the whole question of adjudicating Calypso. So
Richard has adjudicated, he has managed, he has stood on the by-sides. Yes. You have played mass?
No.
You play pan?
No, never.
You ever sing?
I appreciate those art forms.
You ever wear a frock?
No. As a matter of fact, I was just telling my my brothers and sisters just the other day that, as you know, my parents actually brought me to Antigua from Trinidad, and my first experience with Carnival, where my father, in fact, was a big Carnival lover, both mother and father, as a matter of fact, took me to my first Carnival fete here in Antigua at Maylock Inn. And what he did with me, which was probably unlike many other parents nowadays, he in fact carried me there. So it's not a question I had to try to steal away from his house to go to a carnival fete. And Petra, to be honest, I went to the carnival. It was a carnival Saturday. The Calypso competition was on a Friday. And when he took me there, I didn't recover for the whole of carnival after that.
What do you mean you didn't recover?
I missed Juve, last lap, everything.
How old were you?
I was just about 13, 14.
Oh yes, a good age to go to carnival.
And it wasn't a question, like unlike other children would try and sneak away.
Mm-hmm.
He carried me there to show me and let me experience
That sounds fair.
what a carnival thing is like. So
You had anything to drink?
it from him as a parent.
You had anything to drink?
No.
Just checking
no,
out to
no,
ask,
no,
not to
no,
ask.
no,
No.
But he gave me certain instructions. When I got there, do not call him daddy, and I had all the rules were laid down to me.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So we have Richard. Richard is a carnival all rounder, and we also have Can is back. Can, everybody knows Can for Pan. But I have been getting the privilege of talking Calypso with Can, and Can has written several pieces in addition to doing the arrangement and so on. And so between Richard and Can, in a few minutes, we're going to look at the body of work for Eddie Melo. But we have to also introduce another long-standing grandmaster of our carnival, and he has interacted with Eddie Melo in several different spheres, and I wanted for him to bring us that other flair that we hinted at, the reggae side and so on of Eddie Melo in addition to the general. Roger, good afternoon.
What's going on?
Yeah, good, Roger. Well, Roger, welcome to We're the Ones, Roger. For how long you never come on We're the Ones?
No, actually, this is the first. I always listen, but this is the first time.
Thank you for listening. Glad to have you. And you and I have to do one of those About Us sessions. Bear that in mind. But Roger, today we are celebrating Eddie Melo, and you worked with him as a producer of many shows. You would have been able to put the reggae side of Eddie Melo on stage. What was it like working with the reggae Melo?
Actually, I remember one of the first, I think it was Sweet White Freedom? I think it was Sweet White Freedom. I know Eddie Melo always sang up Shirley's Heights, because that was one of the things that we used to look forward to years ago, was going to see Eddie Melo perform on Shirley's Heights.
True.
And one evening he came to me and said, yo, I need to work with you. Privately, I really need to work with you. And I need to do the different side of, I tired of the Calypso, the soca thing. I wanted to showcase, I always remember Gavin Christopher telling me, yo, Eddie Melo voice is phenomenal. You don't see the best of it until you sing reggae. Gavin always told me that. And then I always remember him saying, who was his icon? Who was the man he looked up to and whatever?
Bunny Ruggs?
Bunny Ruggs.
Okay.
And Bunny Ruggs was very close. We had a very close relationship, not just entertainment-wise, but he was a very good friend of mine. And I remember I was doing a show also down at Miller's I did Bunny Ruggs by himself, Edwin Yearwood, and Bunny Ruggs, Edwin Yearwood. Well, it was the whole of the band with Crossfire.
You drag my memory.
And I think it was Dread and the Baldhead. I think it was those. I did so much events. And I remember I needed an opening act. I said, yo, I think this might be the best time for me to use Eddie Melo to come and do his thing. Eddie Melo came and he sang. And it so happened, Bunny Ruggs called me from the hotel the night. He said, listen, I don't want to go to the venue late, even though I'm performing second to last. I want to go kind of early. And we pull up in the parking lot, because I went fame. And he's like, wait.
A whole thing inside it?
A whole thing. He said, no, man. He cloned me or something inside here. I said, no. That's our very own Eddie Melo. And he couldn't believe. And Eddie Melo asked me permission because, as you know, if I artists performing, you can't sing the songs. So he said, listen, I need a song from Third World to sing that Ruggs not singing. I said, well, I got to find out from Ruggs. But Ruggs never knew the reason why I asked him to know which song he's singing. And Eddie sang this song. I never really heard it before from Third World. It's now one of the popular ones. And Eddie Melo sang the song.
It was at 96 degrees.
No, because he sang 96
Okay.
degrees a night. And
Right.
Eddie Melo sang that song. And Bonnie Ruggs said, yo, I never hear the song sound so yet. Because we recorded that song as a filler for the album. But that person singing it, and he met Eddie Melo the night. And the two of them, I had to end up saying, yo, listen, it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
You want to go home?
We got to go. Because the two of them just sat behind that stage and they just talk and talk and talk and talk.
Let me ask you a small question. So there was this rumor going around, and I would really like to put down the rumor. Was it true that after the lead singer for Third World passed, they actually asked him to be a part, or to just maybe for some I don't know where this rumor come from, but it was passing around, floating around for years, and I just never asked him because we never believe him, to be honest.
No, let me explain to you what happened. It was something that we were putting in place for him to do a song with Ruggs. We were actually supposed to fly to Miami because Bonnie Ruggs lived just on the outskirts of Miami going into Orlando. And we were supposed to fly there to go to Orlando for him to do a song with Ruggs. It just so happened that Ruggs got sick. And that whole thing never happened. And Eddie keep pushing, I said, Eddie, don't make no sense. We tried to do that and the man's sick and he keep pushing. You know, the first time, Petra, I hear Eddie seen cry like a baby was when I got a call the night from Bonnie Ruggs' wife, who told me that Bonnie Ruggs had cancer.
Passed? Okay.
No, this is...
Oh, when he had the cancer.
this is when
Okay,
he had
all right.
cancer.
Okay.
And Eddie always following up with Ruggs, even things that I don't even get to know, he know. And he got cancer, and Eddie come, yo, is that true? And you know what going on with this thing and so on. And I say, yeah, man, he real bad this time and whatever. 2 days after, he passed. And Eddie called me. I remember the call in the morning. And it's like his wife, one of his kids, somebody, Eddie just cry like a baby.
He idolized that man.
He idolized Ruggs. And it's something, the conversation was being had. That is something that we could look into. That he was going to try out, because at that time they were looking and trying out persons to sing with Third World. And that's how that conversation.
I sent you a song. Check for it for me for the reggae.
And that's how the
Listen, that been circling for so long, right? And I honestly I never asked him. People always see me and ask me. I never asked him because I just felt like, yo, listen, I'm gonna say, why would my dad turn the fact that he's still here in Antigua and he could get an opportunity to sing with a band that he idolized with? I just felt like it didn't make any sense to us even ask him.
The conversation was being had, but I think they were more looking for Jamaican.
Right, because he would more reflect what they represent.
And the conversation, but he, I mean, trust me, you couldn't ask for no better. You couldn't ask for no better.
All right. Roger, I'm going to hold on to you for a little bit, but Can has to leave us, so let me run over to Can. Can, you may not be familiar so much with Eddie Melo, the person, but you would have been hearing music for him over the years and so on. And I like fresh impressions, because we would not have heard from you in terms of your thoughts on his body of work and the whole value it brings to the Calypso art form. Could you share some of those thoughts with us, please?
Well, I wouldn't say I know him personally, but I do know him.
Okay.
It's a guy that's, I mean, every time I pass him in public, we always stop and he always give me advice. You know, I mean, he always tell me he likes me, but I play with the wrong band.
Yeah.
But it's a guy, I actually, you know, unfortunately, he passed, but I spoke to him the week before, met him in Mini Epic here and there, IGA, just outside, And I remember talking to him, he's telling, boy, make sure you take care of yourself, things going fast. And, he was just telling me, but keep up the good work, had conversations with him since I moved to culture as well. Just telling me some of the things that we need to do if we need to get things done through public works and things like that. So somebody who's always been very positive in terms of giving advice to me and, my musical career. But he's also a guy that I really wanted to write something for. Right, when I did Steel Pan War, I was thinking about him. I said, nah, maybe not this one. I just don't think that's the right sound, for him. And I always wanted to see if I could just, because the voice, man, like for him, his voice is pure, it's honey. And when I listen to him sing, I think for me, much more than anything else, that is what attracts me to him and his music. As it relates to his music, I wouldn't say that I know his entire discography, but it's that song, what do you call it?
Toast to Culture.
Toast to Culture is one that I remember. I remember PM School winning a panorama with 7 Days of Glory. Again, beautiful pieces of music. You talk about the music.
Don't cut your eyes. Go ahead.
What's that?
Understand you. Don't cut your eyes.
Searching, for years now, searching for content online.
Listen,
for years.
It's a conversation. It's a conversation me and him always have been having, and he's like, his philosophy is like, good music hard to find.
I'm not sure about that one.
That's him. Hey, good music hard to find. If you really want the music, find me.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's just him.
I
Very old school.
I
so.
promised him it. I sent him half. I have the other one here. So I promised I sent it.
As you said, to get permission to post them. Good luck.
I know, and it was that's what I tell you. I have the permission for this 10, so I have to negotiate with y'all because I don't get permission for the 10. So negotiate.
Man, you're talking about the voice. The voice, when the voice steps up there. Remember when they had the Barbie, the
Relief.
And he came up and did a unaccompanied, just him singing. No music to back up. I think he probably wasn't on the show, but I don't know what happened, but he just came on just to do that. I just hear the man sing and say, man. Butter, that voice.
Smooth.
Peach, I don't think. You're definitely going to miss something in the Calypso arena. He hasn't sung in a couple of years, but I remember asking him, it might have been last year, when he planned on going back in. And, he didn't really specify anything, but I know for sure he had some issues. I guess with the competition and the nature of how things were going.
I have permission to say?
To say what?
What his issues were? No? Okay, carry on.
I mean...
Yeah, but I know I gathered that he had some issues with the way that things were going. And that's fine. But it's somebody that always supported. You go to these events and he's there, right? He's there.
Yeah, all the tents and so on.
Yeah, he's there. He's there. And again, as I said, it's always up for me. I can't speak for everybody, but for me, from a person that again, yes, he supports a different band, but he's a guy that's always there. Kind of like this. I like what you're doing. I like to see what you're doing. From a musical point of view, it's somebody that I wish I would have worked with. I know Gavin got that opportunity.
Gavin beat you, boy.
Yeah.
they get a classic.
Yeah, I know Gavin got the opportunity, but I know it's somebody I wish I would have gotten the opportunity to work with from a musical point of view. That voice, man, that voice of money.
I would say I can help you, but the upper fall, listen, the tree are Mount Obama. And when the apple fall, the apple reach a pint. That's how far the apple fall from the tree, bro.
What I will say about the apple falling tree story is, you need some good lyrics. You need some good lyrics to put to an arrangement. You can check it.
On that side, yeah.
Yeah, he writes well.
But you know who can sing? I think.
No, but you know what the singing part.
Yeah, the singing in terms of with that have probably some close enough to the old man is my oldest brother, Ty. But the thing is, he's not one that. Yeah, but he don't. If you're constantly singing and constantly practicing, it will get better. Right. But I've heard him just send, like, he say, yo, bro, I have this song in my head. No. And I was like, all right, voice note it to me. And when you voice note it to me, I'll be like, let's send me back my voice note. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, just to sound like you, right? It take me about 3 or 4 hours in the studio. And you send me a voice note, bro. No do job. And my sister, voice. But I don't know. I never heard my brother sing, but my youngest brother, but me, jeez.
You write.
Listen,
You
know,
write very well.
Let me tell you how I know I can't sing, right? My dad saw me when we just started with Eminem music, and he tell me, he just come to me after the rip and he tell me, listen, you might not be the best singer, but dress is good enough so when people look at you, they can accept whatever voice come out of your mouth. I sat back and I said, you know,
I be a witness to that.
If you notice, right, if you go online and look at all the Eminem music videos and them, you notice my dress to the from head to toe, the best dress. Roger can tell you, because Roger work with us. Well dressed. And anytime anybody see me in the street, they always tell me, you the guy that always in minutes that dress real. I like how you dress. I miss it in my mind. You know me how Mike in my mouth. Someone say from that's one of the from a musical career. That's one of
Let
the
me
best
just
advice
repeat
the old
for the
man ever give
record.
me.
He writes very well.
I guess
And
for him it's
he
better to
works
look good than
and
to
he
sound
works
good.
very hard. And he has technical experience in marketing and social media marketing. So I'm giving him all the things that Eddie Melo would have passed on to
All
him.
the props, all the props.
No, more one device.
You want advice?
All right. So Can, I'm gonna let you go because I know you needed to go,
Sure.
but
to prepare for that
I
concert.
need Can needs to prepare for the concert, Father's Day concert. Richard, I'm coming to you next. Don't go anywhere. But I think one of the reasons why I was glad to bring Cannon on the conversation was that I think many of us in Antigua have not gotten used yet to him and the fact that he writes. Like, I don't even think people realize he wrote Sleep and War, the lyrics and that kind of stuff, and you have that side of you. So it's almost like I want to pull a pass on the baton.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
I mean, we did the work on. I mean, calypso is something that I grew up going to. You know, they're talking about. My father plays in the calypso band.
I know. No, what I'm saying is
Right?
people may not know.
No,
so
I
I
understand.
wanted to. I am pulling Roger. Hint, passing the baton.
Because what I'm
passing the
saying
stick.
is-
Harmonites. My band had this passing of the stick thingy, right? And in terms of the calypso appreciation, so I want he's in culture and everything, but I want him to bring that up. So I'm pushing the Eddie Melo spirit to bring that up. It's been a pleasure having you. I'm going to get the last word for you today. It's
But-
been a pleasure having you.
You wouldn't know, but going to calypso is something that I have to do every year.
But hold on,
Who
we
wouldn't
have
know?
had conversations.
No, what I'm saying is a lot of people wouldn't know that
You're
either.
insulting.
Because you're talking about, again, going. I remember one year.
Your daddy playing?
Right, he play in the band.
So you know
Val
how
and
to-
all them used to be on the gallery while daddy there when they writing their tunes. So I remember going and watching Zakari sing Achu and Finance.
Finance, boy.
Yeah.
Finance
All
and
them
things,
years
yeah.
come up. Eddie Melo. There was a year I don't remember what song he was doing, but it was in red, that kind of red.
That was a rose.
Rose, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a rose.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting a story about Rose.
Yes, so we'll get back to that. Thank you very much.
No
Richard,
Hi, Petra.
you would more than the. Can you say again, Richard?
Hi.
Okay, I think what am I doing wrong? Because I can hardly hear him.
I tell them how to workshop.
Okay, right. Okay,
Hi.
all right. Yes, Richard, you can go back over there. I wanted you to help us to get a sense of appreciation of because you would have followed Eddie Melo's path through the calypso, right? And you would be familiar with his songs. Richard will be the one person when I go in calypso office we can sit down and chat for hours about calypso. Yeah, share because many of us might remember a song or two without being able to just do a bird's eye view of what Eddie Melo brought to the calypso fraternity and to the art form.
Before I go there, Petra,
Yes,
is to let you know, as a listener and a lover of the art form,
right.
I would brand Eddie Melo as Antigua and Barbuda's David Rudder for his vocal range, his excellent vocal range. I can't even find words to describe. His vocal range is very pleasing to anybody who has to sit down and have an appreciation for calypso. And even though his calypso CV is not extensive, not spanning 20, 40 years and what have you in it, but Eddie Melo was just an outstanding artist to sit down and you could listen to him, understand and appreciate his works very, very clearly. The other thing which is always been overlooked from a historical point of view, Petra, is that the records really ought to show and be stated that Eddie Melo was Antigua and Barbuda's 50th Calypso Monarch. In 2006, we celebrated our 50th, actually, although there was all this bit of confusion as to when is the 50 and where. But if you do the actual math and count it, he was, in fact, the 50th Calypso Monarch in Antigua and Barbuda, 2006. Now, in Carnival history, from 1970 is when you would actually say that Antigua really had its, while it started in 57, 70 is when you actually could say Antigua's Carnival had really come of age, because it's from that point is when we started having our own music, locally produced music for the Road March winners. And his song, Jam Them, in 94, was the 25th real Road March of Antigua, because prior to that, it was all the Trinidad Road Marches that were, played on the streets of Carnival Monday and Tuesday. So let history be recorded properly. 50th Calypso Monarch and his band won the 25th Road March of Antigua in 1994.
And the name of the song, the 25th song, the 25th Monarch, hold on, work with me here. There's a reason why I'm doing this now, Richard. I don't know, you might have missed the earliest segment, because I had a dispute in here with some peoples, and one of them still here. So the 25th Road March for Antigua and Barbuda was in 1994 by Vision Band, lead singer Eddie Melo, and the name of the song was what?
Jam Them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Matusa Dengan. Them gonna tell me about what? Just back. But Vex. Okay. Carry on, sir.
The other thing now is where I came to get a close-up knowledge and having interaction with Eddie Melo is when, in fact, I took up my appointment within the festival's office. And he came to me after the 2007 Calypso Monarch. We were having this discussion, and he was more or less doing a postmortem on himself. And I told him that particular year he sang the endangered species, which many persons, I would consider that when you hear the name endangered species, you're gone into intellectual stuff now, Petra. Right? You would really, really be interested to hear the content of such a calypso and how it was all put over. But he sang endangered species, and he sang 50 years. And I was able to tell him after the show, I said, Eddie, one of the problems that you encountered there, in that second round, and anybody sitting down to judge a Calypso Monarch, we were flooded with that particular year with 50 years of Carnival. It was about half the second round out of the 10 Calypsos in the second round, Petra, including his 50 years, was sung 50 years for Carnival. And the luck didn't go his way. Is Bear who win the Calypso Monarch in 2007, singing political commentaries. So you see, he suffered one of the things with we would say, an overkill topic. And it would have placed a hell of a burden in terms of separating which 50 years was better than the other 4 or 5 that were inside there. So, and he took the words of advice that I gave him. The other outstanding work that Eddie Melo did was a calypso called Light of Hope. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yes.
In 2013. And when I sit back, Petra, and listen to Eddie Melo's work within say a 10-year span, and he was just in many years just coming with 2 calypsos. It wasn't like the days of the Short Shirt and Swallows of this world where they were coming with albums with 10 and 12 solid calypsos and what have you. But actually you can feel from that particular artist that he placed a lot of emphasis on his production. The production. He doesn't seem like as an artist would be walking out of a studio with substandard work. I mean, I'm not around him to hear him how he'd express himself in terms of his arrangements and what have you. But he seems to be that kind of person. You actually can not be involved, but actually you can feel it, that the person is striving to be a perfectionist in terms of what he's putting out. On the business side, one of the things that I noticed with him, every time we had to interact, he was very heavily emotional. He was highly critical, what have you. He was very concerned about exporting Antigua and Barbuda's music. He really was concerned about putting out music that is exportable. And he found that one of the things with the drawback with calypsos and calypsonians here in Antigua is that they were just locked in to just more or less a market was just concentrated for July, August. And his vision really was to make sure that Antigua's music goes way beyond our shores. So he is very much business-oriented to make sure that the music becomes exportable.
And that is actually a very good point. Then
the other thing too, if you remember now his reaction, Petra, these are certain things that you remember, especially when one is a lover of a particular art form like calypso. When he was announced as the winner, because I was in the ground the night when he was announced the winner in 2006. Eddie Melo pounded his chest to find it really is me win this Calypso Monarch show. If you remember when they were calling out all the positions, he really was in a state of shock because I don't think he himself felt he has done enough in terms of, boy, I now come to play Test cricket and the selectors really selected me. I accustomed to play my little side road cricket and wherever it is, but now I'm selected in the big league, and then by the following weekend he's off to Anguilla. Now here is somebody now who was a solo artist as a lead singer in a band.
Right.
And then here we actually were seeing, boy, is this a repetition of Onion coming down here now? And it just shows you that the level of talent here in Antigua, that persons can in fact move from being lead singers in bands, and it ain't take no big rocket science for them to jump on a calypso stage. And it is something a lot of seasoned calypsonians, they may not come out and admit it, but plenty of them are always in a state of scare or fear anytime you hear a lead singer is jumping on a calypso stage, because that person is coming there with vocals.
With range.
Understands how to win an audience. Do everything, you know. May not have sung no deep calypso, but it just shows you that anybody, once you have that God-given talent, you can always make that changeover. Antigua and Barbuda is fortunate that many persons who have moved from being lead singers in bands have jumped in this calypso business, you know.
Okay. Well,
we saw Ralph Gonzalez, we see Onion, all with excellent vocals, you know.
And I think you've provided a very good overall overview in terms of...
persons who are in fact lead singers in bands should never go into it and say, boy, I don't think I can sing calypso to match up against Bea and Zachary and all them fellas, you know.
Well, I think, like you said, between Eddie Melo and Onion and even Tien in recent times, they have made that case clear. But Richard, I want to thank you so much. I think you've given us a good historical perspective, and you have given us a good look at Eddie Melo, the professional inside the art form. So I want to thank you very much for sharing. It's as usual, you have been a treasure trove of information, and I look forward to us doing this again. You have to come and do a calypso show with me. All right?
This is how you do it, Petra.
Yes.
You call me at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and tell me next thing now I have to come and do a calypso show.
Yeah, but you know how it is. You know how it is. Wait, hold on. It's me. So I expect.
Stay safe and stay strong.
You too, darling. Stay
Okay,
safe.
then,
All right.
goodbye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. Okay. No, I can't have a caller. So, Roger and Tito.
Yeah.
I think, Roger, you got to see a lot. Appreciate mentioned Eddie Melo's professionalism. Tito spoke about that before, and even when he passed it on to you in terms of the dress and the manner of doing things. And I know he had just started some new projects. Last year we had the benefit of one, The Best of the Rest. I was a judge. I was a judge. I think we had the way he started that product. And I know he had also started investing in started blooding new talent into, in particular, calypso. And I know Richard also spoke about the exporting of the music. I think that was one of his pet peeves, that we didn't do enough of that. And that to me also was one of the reasons why he was moving into the calypso genre, because he thought, not calypso, reggae genre, because he felt that if calypso wasn't going to take Antigua and Barbuda out there, he would use what the world wants. The world wants reggae, I can do reggae, I'm going to bring Antigua through reggae to the world. Gentlemen, I think we've had a very good afternoon so far, and I want to thank you both for joining me. I was looking for Jam Them because I have it here. I'm looking to see if it comes to me. But any parting thoughts? Wrapping up. Tito, I'll probably let you go last. Roger, I want to thank you for coming, joining us.
No problem.
You got him in Carnival because you were a Carnival worker, organize everything. You got him in reggae because you had all these other shows that you had. So just remind us.
Well, differently from the fact that we shared our birthday on the same day.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah. And my brother here would know that. And we usually go for coffee every birthday. You know, and we talk a little bit of politics, a little bit of the art form, a little bit of everything. We missed this one.
COVID.
This was, his death, his passing.
Oh, yes. When was his birthday?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
right.
so we missed this one. It would so what I did was I went and had 2 cups of coffee. I actually put his by, where he usually sit, and then I told him, well, since you're not drinking it today, I'll drink it for you. So I know. So I
only know Roger through culture, right? I don't know him through anything else. He and I are really not friends. I'm not. Okay.
But differently than that, we were working on a lot of stuff this year, and that's so sad because the day before he passed, we spoke, and we were actually supposed to have the meeting this Saturday. Yeah, I was supposed.
He was at his office.
Correct. Where, Yeah, and we were supposed to go and meet, and so happened that it happened that way, and I actually had to call one of the artists that we booked for one of the projects that we were doing. I had to call him and tell him that the partner who I spoke to passed and everything. So, and we're gonna miss an icon, we're gonna miss a friend, and we're gonna miss somebody who is passionate about politics and calypso and everything, and but hopefully that song that we're gonna try to find, that he did record in Jamaica at I think it was Junior Gang Studios. I think we will find it, and I think that's going to be something that's his memory going to be, I hope that's going to put his memory out there for the true vocalist that he is.
Tito, can we get some of these songs online, please? He not for vex with that way. Oh no, he the vex. Me had a tender. He give permission for. I gonna send you the list.
Oh no, that's fine.
Okay,
no,
good.
Whatever he give you permission for, that's fine. I mean, I know you and him had a very decent relationship. But for me, I don't. To be honest, not to sound glib, but I mean, Eddie Melo was Eddie Melo.
We know.
And he was Antigua, true and true, and he was Grace Farm, true and true. And
yes, them arguments about Pint and Grace Farm,
politics, true and true. I mean, I've never met. Well, I've met persons, but being him my father, that was so passionate about Antigua, about the art form, about culture, about he was everything.
About arguing with me about Dagan bread outside the brownie. No, hold on. You have to listen to this. This is important. Yeah. Arguing with me about Dagan bread outside a brownie. So Eddie Melo, if Dagan bread, so what the problem? Left public works, now come down here, go so. And by the way, he can argue me the brownie, and I can't remember seeing Eddie Melo come out the brownie with the actual bread. Now that I think about it,
he and Dagan did the same place.
I'm trying to figure out. No, you know, understand? I would be going up St. John Street. He'll be coming down. He either coming in the car, going out the car, something, and we would stand right in front of brownie and have a conversation. The conversation always ends with an argument over which bread better. And now that I'm reflected, I can't remember ever seeing Eddie Melo with a brownie bread. Wait a minute in front of the brownie place. No questions to send to ask Eddie Melo.
No, but listen, as I told you before, he told me, you give me one piece of advice. He was like, listen, never argue with ignorance, because I'm battling again, never win. But with the same breath, tell the Empire football team are the worst team in the team.
Oh no, you don't dare do that. What is wrong with you?
He accept that ignorant argument. And I don't. But with the same breath, he can tell you, never do that. So that's just who he is. I mean, I accept him for who he is, or was, I should say. So I mean, it is what it is.
So please convey our love. Like I think it's Swango said it, or you? That everybody is family.
Yeah.
So from the family, the little outer circle to the inner circle.
You don't have friends, you have family.
Yeah, convey all our love, everything. We will continue to remember him. We will continue to celebrate his life. We will continue to. You guys will get the reggae out. I will keep creating mischief and wreaking havoc with the calypso. And we will just always and forever remember Eddie Melo.
One thing, Peter, before we jump into the beat.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see if I get it. Okay, I have it. Go ahead.
Oh, you know my name. I never knew my name got called.
Yes, your name is there.
Until somebody pointed it out, like maybe think of yourself or somebody.
You have 30 seconds before we get to the song.
But no, anyways, you need for
What I'm gonna need for do now?
Yeah, I need just send me the link when you go do Roger Perry, because this man how he's. I can't wait till Roger end up like,
Listen to the problem that I'm having, right? I'll say this quickly. I have a list of people, so I'm trying to go. Okay, do one calypso. Thanks to COVID, I no longer have to do sports people because there's no sports going on. The sports shows them covering all the sports. I just scratch them out my list. Well, except one, because I have to do Guy. Because Guy is more than sports. He's politics. He's everything. So I have to do Guy Yearwood. But outside of that, I scratch that. Then I start to look now on all the other things I have to do. Boy, I tell you.
Raja Mogul, man.
I tell you.
Raja Mogul.
Can you remember?
From the top.
Aizule. What about the moon? Haha. Toy, hit the horn. Okay. Let me go, Tito. On the road. I met this lady in a party. She come up and tell me how she love my music. Though some criticize it, I don't want you to prosper. Come down vision. Are you hardy hammer? Yeah, the woman jam them vision band. Jam them vision band.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're the ones. We're gonna leave you jamming to. Some people say dress back. Some people say dress back. It's We're the Ones Wednesdays, signing out, paying tribute and remembering Eddie Melo.
Charlie, just back, them a bend down low and just back. One the woody, just back, them a spread them legs and just back. One the Charlie, just back, them a bend them head and just back. Okay. Fire.